Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the third video in my Tasseomancy series. In the first video, I discussed basic supplies, and in the second video, I shared a simple method for reading tea leaves. It featured a classic past, present, future approach. You can find both of those videos here on my Tasseomancy playlist. Today, I would like to talk about how to interpret the symbols that you find among the leaves in your cup. Symbols are the language of the spirit world, as well as the language of the subconscious. Perhaps you intend to learn the art of tea leaf reading in order to receive messages from your spirit guides, ancestors, and loved ones who are now in spirit. Or maybe you intend to read the leaves in order to receive messages from your own subconscious or your higher self. You may even approach the leaves as if you are completing a kind of Rorschach test, psychologically. Whatever your intention, symbology will be the way in which you find meaning in the shapes and silhouettes made by the tea leaves in your cup. You may be wondering how you will know the meaning of the imagery that you see in the tea leaves. Here are just some options. You can use an established bank of symbolism. If you have studied another form of divination, such as tarot cards, you probably already possess an understanding of many symbols. For example, it is common for tarot readers to assign meaning to the elements, incorporate some basic numerology, and interpret a variety of symbols in their readings. No need to reinvent the wheel if you have already attained some mastery of symbolism through some other divination method, such as tarot, Lenormand, playing cards, throwing the bones, or anything else. There are three main types of symbols. Even if you do not have any previous experience with divination, you are capable of interpreting all three. The first type is universal. These are the symbols that generally mean the same thing to most people. The second type is fixed. These are symbols that generally mean the same thing to you each and every time you encounter them, but others may not necessarily interpret them the same way. The third type is unique. These are symbols that you may only encounter or interpret in a particular way one time. When you see any of these three types of symbols, it will largely be your own intuitive, automatic response that provides their meaning in a reading. Now let's practice building up your own glossary of universal fixed symbols. Pause this video and grab some paper and a pen or pencil. Okay. Ready? I would like you to write down the following words: transformation, pain, healing, confusion, celebration, conflict, communication, separation, success, depression. Now that you've written down these words, I would like you to go back to each one. You should pause this video before you start and just quickly sketch the symbol that first comes to mind when you hear each word, when you think of each concept that each word represents. Don't hesitate, don't overthink it, and try to do each sketch in under a minute. When you start going several minutes for each, you're overthinking it, I promise. So go ahead and pause the video and begin. And after you have created a sketch for each term, you can come back and play the rest of the video. Okay, now that you've completed that little exercise, you have officially begun to make your own meaningful connections between both concrete and abstract concepts and symbols that represent them. Now, when you see your symbols for success and celebration, for example, in a reading, you will recognize them and you will be able to apply them to your overall message. There are many books that can also help you interpret the meaning of symbols. A reference book, such as the Dictionary of Symbols, is a good resource. Mine is an old copy from the 60s, but the book is now in reprint and it's available most everywhere. In my experience, such a book is best used when you are stumped, and it should not override your own intuitive understanding of a symbol. A dream interpretation book could also be useful. There are also some documented and established symbols that are associated specifically with reading tea leaves. Perhaps the oldest book on the subject was written by an unknown Highland seer in the 1880s. It's called Teacup Reading and the Art of Fortune-Telling by Tea Leaves. It provides a fascinating glimpse of the practice in Scotland more than 6 generations ago. Cicely Kent's book, Telling Fortunes by Tea Leaves, is another good historic resource. It was written in the early 20th century, and it can be viewed for free at loyalbooks.com. It includes a dictionary of symbols that you might find interesting or useful. Of course, there are several contemporary books about tasseomancy on the market today, and they are easily found wherever books are sold. And there are even a few websites. I will list the sites in the description below this video. Of course, a lucky few may have a family tradition of tea leaf reading preserved for them. If you are so fortunate, I hope that you will continue to preserve and pass down your family's unique approach to tea leaf reading, and I encourage you to write down whatever bits of information you have gained and received from the generations that came before you in your family. I hope that this video is helpful to you on your tea leaf reading journey, and until next time, take care.